Samad, the platform is yours now.
Okay, hello everyone. So, as Shadrach introduced me, my name is Abdul Samad, and currently I am working as a software engineer in AWC Software Limited, that is in India. So, I'm proceeding the session. So, firstly, let me tell you what is Power Apps. So, you must all be aware of that Power Apps is basically a power platform, which is given by Microsoft. So, firstly, I will begin with some introductions. What is Power Apps? And then if you directly to the first, how you can build your first Power Apps. So, as I told you that all these comes in MS Power Platform. So, so all these things come like MS Power Apps is there. Second, MS Power Automate is there, and third is MS Power BI. So today I will take session on MS Power Apps, and later on, if there is some time, I will move to Power Automate in some other session. So just I will tell you the brief introduction. What is Power Apps and why it is in so much demand right now? So Power Apps is, as just I told you, it is one of the offerings of Microsoft that come inside the package of Office 365. So when you will purchase Office 365, it will directly inbuilt with Power Apps. So Power Apps as it goes as a platform as a service. So it is platform which is provided as a service. Power Apps was introduced by Microsoft to create mobile applications that run on Android. So on Android, you can download it from Play Store. It runs on iOS, it runs on Windows, and it runs even on Mac. So all these things, I will provide this document at the end also. So what is basically what does Power Apps do? So number of students are there which are not from the programming background, and number of even users are there which are not from programming background. So Power Apps just provides nice drag and drop user interface to allow you to add different controls. Now I will tell you that what are the different controls, that is text field, choice field, even media fields are also there. Camera is inbuilt in the Power Apps, video you can do, and there is some PDF control also. So I'm putting this right now, this document, and I'm directly moving on to how you can build your first Power Apps. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm proceeding. So Power Apps is basically one of the offerings of Microsoft that comes inside Office 365, and now it comes under MS Power Platform. Okay, so inside MS Power Platform, and there is not only Power Apps. There are some others applications are also there. That is MS Power Apps, MS Power Automate, and MS Power BI. So I will walk you through these two. So currently I will discuss today about what is MS Power Apps and building your first Power Apps. So I am writing here, I will discuss building your first Power Apps. So basically, why it is in so much demand, Power Apps. So Power Apps was introduced by Microsoft to create mobile application that runs on Android. So on Android, you can download it from Play Store. It can run even on iOS, Windows, and even on Mac as well. And with almost any browser. So like Chrome is there, Mozilla is there. It can run in even any browser. So what does Power Apps do? I will tell you. So Power Apps basically have nice drag and drop user interface, allow you to add different controls, that is text, field, choice field, media is there, and it allow us to connect to different data sources. So what are the different data sources which we can connect is SharePoint list, CDS, MS Excel. I will show what are the data sources through which we can connect. So these are the data sources through which we can connect. That is CDS. So this is main part which comes under model-driven Power Apps. SharePoint is there, SQL Server is there, Excel is there. So majorly every application is built by using SharePoint list as a database. because this is also an offerings which comes under Office 365. So it is very easy to configure Power Apps with SharePoint list. So am I clear till here? Anyone have any questions?
Yes, you are clear.
Okay. So how you can land into Power Apps? So just search for Power Apps online and it will launch you to powerapps.microsoft.com. So this is how the Microsoft or Power Apps page look like. So we will sign in into this. So currently I am stop sharing the screen. That is online version of Power Apps. So this is how Power Apps website look like. So this is the main website, mix.powerapps.com. I'm bringing this URL in the chat. If anyone have any question. Okay, so it is for members only. So fine. So you can see here what are the database we can use. SharePoint is there, Excel is there, SQL Server is there, CDS is there, and many other data sources are there. So currently we are focusing on SharePoint list. So I will teach you how to deal with SharePoint list in today's session. So now you can see there are two types of Power Apps, that is Canvas and model driven. So currently today I will focus on Canvas app and I will tell you what model driven app is and what is the difference between Canvas and model driven app. So now we are moving to this topic, that is what is the difference between Canvas and model driven app. Then we will directly land into how we can build our first Canvas app. So this is basically the difference between Canvas and model driven app. Is screen visible to you all? So Canvas app is basically focused on user interface. It has drag and drop features and it is not responsive by design, and it is best suited for tasks based on role-based application. And model driven, when we will build a model driven application, you will see that it is mainly focused on data, pulls data from common data services, which is one of the data source which we can use while building Power Apps. It is responsive by design and it is best suited for creating end-to-end solutions. So if someone will ask you what is the difference between Canvas applications and model driven applications, and in what scenario you will use Canvas application and model driven application, so you just have to tell them that if the focus is on UI, that if you want the app to be UI dependent, that the UI should be very good looking, then you will prefer Canvas app. Otherwise, if it is task dependent, for example, there is various level of approval is required. For example, if you want a leave in your office, so firstly you will apply for leave. It will go to your team lead, then it will go to your manager, then it will go to your senior manager. So for this kind of things, we will use model driven application. But when the UI is there, UI is into consideration, then we will use Canvas application. So today we will build our Canvas application. So is there any confusion, or is there any confusion between model driven and Canvas app right now? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, is there any confusion between model driven app and Canvas app? So if you have any question, raise your hands. Hello.
Yes, I don't think there is anyone. Yeah, go on.
So Shadrach, do you have any question?
No,
Shadrach,
there is no question so far.
Okay, so everything is clear, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Elizabeth, do you have some questions?
No, I don't have.
Okay, fine. So now I'm moving on to build our first Power Apps. Okay. So we are landing into Canvas application, right? So we will click on this. It will ask on which format you want to build. That is in tablet format or phone format. So we will use tablet format because it look good on desktop. Otherwise, if I will choose phone format, it will not look good on desktop. It will be shrink. So I am giving it the name my first app. So now, and we have created it. So now you can see how Power Apps environment look like. So this is our Power Apps environment. Now we have studied that there is nice drag and drop feature. So I will tell you what that drag and drop feature are there. Here you can see label. I have just click on it and we have got one label. Can you see this? I will zoom out the screen. This is label. So I have just click on, I will delete it. See, here are few buttons are there. Label is there, new screen is there, text is there, input is there, gallery is there, data table is there, forms is there. So in all these things, we have a drag and drop feature. So currently I am choosing label. So here you can see that when we choose label, it comes with the default size. Now we can increase its size by increasing its length or by changing its height and width from here also. On the right navigation bar, can you see this? Here position is there. Position means what is the X and Y location. So I will change, first of all, I will change what is the position. So I will put it 50 and I will put it 50. So it will come down. See, you can see this, it has been rotated. So I will choose 450 over there and I will choose 500 over there. So now you can see it has moved down here. Okay, so now what are the things which come under text or what we can do with this label? So here all the functionalities of this label. So currently, like I will not focus on all these things. I will focus on the main thing, that is text one. So how you can change text in double inverted comma? Just if you want to change the text, you can change it. My first application. So this is how it look like. So I will make it good in UI. So this will be our heading. Now we will, now I want to fill it with some color. So I will move to home. There is fill option. Can you see this? This is fill option. So I will choose any color. Now you can see that the color has been changed. Now I will choose some good, like black is there. Black is for whole screen. So if you will select the whole Power Apps window, it will change the color of the whole window. But if you will select this label window, it will change only label color. Now you can see this. I will again change the color of this too. No. So now again we are in this label and we are moving to text. So here is text. So I will change the color of the text to white so it is visible to us. And I will change its size also. So how you can change its size? Just you have to increase the size like we do in MS Word and its size will be expanded. My first app is expanding now. So now this is the heading of our app, that is my first app. So in today's session, we will build one simple registration app. So now I will rename this app as registration app. Now I will rename this app as registration. Application in Power Apps. So, is there any question till now? Hello.
No questions.
So, anyone have any questions?
Yes, we have a question from
No.
Erugo.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a
who is
question.
So, anyone have any questions?
Yes, we have a question from.
Yeah. You can put it up. What is the question?
I don't have a question. I'm okay.
No. Actually, someone is asking that there is one question. So I'm asking that who is asking that there is one question. Can you please put it up?
No, there is no question. Go ahead.
Okay, Shadrak. Everything is clear, Shadrak, to you?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, fine. So till now we have built the heading of our Power Apps. That is our first step. Now, when we go on to registration, can we do any registration without any database? I think no. So like without any database, everything is not possible. Like nothing is possible without any database in IT industry. We need to maintain our data. So now where our data source will come into play, as I earlier told you that Power Apps is most feasible because we can use number of data sources in it. We can use Excel, we can use SharePoint, we can use Common Data Services, we can use Azure. So most used database is Excel and SharePoint list. I have already told you why SharePoint list is mostly used, because it comes under Office 365 package. So most of them use Power Apps, SharePoint list as a database. Now, I have built one SharePoint site for this. I will move on to this. So this is the SharePoint site which I built today only. And this is the site. So I will tell you what does this mean. So this is tenant. This is called as tenant students.sharepoint.com, whatever it is written. So inside tenant, there is sites. Okay. So inside site, the first level of site is known as site collection. And inside site collection, we can build number of sub-site. So whenever anyone asks you a question that what do you mean by site collection? So you can directly say that site collection is basically the collection of sub-sites. So I will show you how a SharePoint site look like. So this is how a SharePoint site look like. So this is the name of the site collection, MSP Kenya. Documents means a document library which is present inside the SharePoint site. There is notebook is there, pages are there, site contents are there. We don't have to focus on all these things currently because all these things are content of SharePoint site. I will directly move where we can create a SharePoint list. So you have to move to this settings gear, then on site contents. And on site contents, all these options will come. You will have to click on new, and then one option is the list. As we are currently using SharePoint list as a database, so we will have to create one list. Now I am naming this list my first list. So I have created the list. So now list has been created. And this title column comes by default when we create any list. So now again, I'm coming back to the audience to ask whether there is any questions or not. So is there any questions till now? Hello.
There is no question.
Okay, Shadrak, you can ask your friend that is there any question, they can raise their hand and ask if they have any concern. So I'm moving forward. So I'm switching to Power Apps right now. So what basically we need for any registration application? Someone can tell me what we need for registration application. What are the fields which are required for registration application? Name is there, father name is there, our date of birth is there, gender is there, right? So I am currently picking all these options like name, father name, date of birth, and gender, and even the country also. So I'm putting one input, that is I'm dragging and dropping one label. Again, I will choose one label. And I will put it over here. And name it as name. And then a semicolon. Now I have filled it with some color. In the same way, I will put another label, that is, so you can see when we are dragging dropping, you can see that it is marking that the alignment are correct. Can you see? You must be seeing this line is coming up, dotted line, to check whether the alignment is correct or not. So name is there, and then gender is there. Gender is there. So I will fill it with some color. I have again chosen the same color. And I will put it of the same size that it is. Now again, I will select one label. And now I will select country. And again, on going on to home, I will change this color to look good. Okay, fine. So name is there, gender is there, country is there. So now, just now I have told you that this name is coming up very small. Now I want to increase its size. So I can increase it in this way. Name, gender, and again a country. So again, I am coming back to audience to ask whether they have any questions till now or not. Is there any question? Hello? Hello? Yeah, hello, is there any question? Hello?
This is a question.
Yeah, you can ask. Yeah, Shadrak, do you have any question? Hello?
No, there is no question.
Everything is clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So should I am moving forward. If there is any question, please let me know so that I can clear it right now, because if I will move forward, it will be confusing for you all. If there is any question, please let me know. Okay, so I am moving forward. Again, I am going on to that Power App screen. So now we have got label, name is there, gender is there, country is there. So I am selecting one more label, that is date of birth, because it is also very necessary while registration. See. Now again I will change its color. And I will rename it as, I will go to text. And rename it as date of birth. Now, how this our app looks like, we can see this from this play screen. This is how our app looks like currently. Name is there, gender is there, country is there, and date of birth is there. Okay, now we don't have any input. Like how will we put an input? Like name is there, and how someone will put input when this application is given to him or her. Now we are putting that input icon or the input labels or input screen over here. So here you can see that input on the top navigation bar, there is one input. We will select this and there is one text input through which we can text out the input. So we have put it over here and not text input. We have got some text input, right? And like this is default. When we choose text input is written as default. Now I will remove this because I don't want any default over here. So it has been removed, right? So in gender, I will put one drop down because gender should be male or female. So I will put one drop down over here. So here you can see this drop down option is coming up. So I will select drop down. And I will put it over here and I will expand its length. So you can see this in drop down, what options are coming up by using play button. What are the options coming up in drop down? 1, 2, 3. But we don't need 1, 2, 3. We want male and female. So we will change it. How we will change it? This drop down sample is coming up. Item is there. If we will remove this, there will be no drop down sample, right? So how we will change the drop down? We will select this drop down icon. Then from here, we will select items, then rectangular box, which is called as array. This is named as array. Inside this array, right now I have given male. So in this drop down, only male will be there, right? Can you see this? Only male is there. So now I want one more option. Again, we will go to this. Just we will put one comma and again write female over there. Now we have two options, male and female. Male and female. So we are over with our gender. So again, I'm coming back to the audience. Is there any question? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, there is nobody with a question. I don't think anybody has a question.
Okay, Shadrach. Okay, fine. So I'm again moving forward. So for country, again, we need one drop down. Now I am giving you some shortcut, how we can change, like we can, like if we are building any big app, so we cannot directly go on to, like every time we cannot go on to this insert and put it over here. So we can just directly copy this CTRL plus C and just paste it. So it will give us one another drop down, but with the same functionality. You should remember that when we will copy paste it, it will give us another drop down, but with the same functionality. Now again, I am moving on to the first drop down. So can you see this? The name of this drop down is drop down 1. And the name of this drop down will come as drop down 1 semicolon 1. It means that 1 has been created one more time. You can remember with this thing. So again, we want to change these items from male female to country, that is Kenya. India. And Australia is there. So currently I am putting only 3 companies. Let us check whether it is coming up or not. So you can see this Kenya, India, and Australia is there. Okay. And again, now I'm going to date of birth. So for date of birth, we need one date picker through which we can pick the date. So again, we will go to input and there is one date picker. So I will pick this and put it over here. Okay. So this is how our app looks like currently. So you can make it even more good. So now if we will put one input, like I am putting one input over there, my name, I am selecting male from here and I'm selecting India from here. Now I'm selecting my date of birth. Just I'm putting one date. So 7 April 2020 is there. Now we want to save this to our database, because if database is here, if application is over here and all the fields are mentioned over here, there is no need of this application. So we just want to save it. So for that, we need one database, and what database we are using today is SharePoint list. So to save this, we will put one button over here, insert button. So I have bring this button. And currently we have to put some functionality when we select this button. On select, something should happen. What should happen? All these things which we have mentioned over here should be present at our database. So what we will do? This is button. On select, currently this is false. So we will write some functionality over here. So now where Power Apps functionality come into play. So what we will use, firstly, we will connect our database with this. How we can connect our database? Can you see this view option? We will click on this view and move on to this data sources. We have moved on to this data sources. Currently, you can see no connectors are there, no database is there. So we will select connectors. We want to use SharePoint. So I will select SharePoint from here. So I have already selected this list. So this is this side. So this is coming up. So SharePoint is there. Now it will search for our recent site. What are our recent site? So this is the site which we have built, right? MSP Kenya. So we will select this MSP Kenya. Choose this. So just now we have created one list, that is my first list. So we will select this. Okay, connect. So once it is connected, it will be visible here, or you can again move on to file or any other, you can navigate to any page. So again, we will check on to view and you can see this that like our list is or our data source is connected. Now name is there, gender is there, country is there, date of birth is there. But when we move on to a list, nothing is there. Only title column is there. So we can just put title over here. Now we will add column over here also. So name is a single line of text. So we will choose a single line of text from here. We will give it as name, and save this. Okay, name already exists. So student name. So this is our SharePoint list. When we click on add column, you can see number of options are there. Single line of text, multiple line of text, location, number, yes, no, person. So basically we can see this, we can say this, these are all the data types which SharePoint list support. So I'm again coming back to audience because like rest of the lectures will be confusing. So is there any question? George has raised his hand and Edgar has raised his hand. So
Yes,
George, do you have any question? Yeah, sure.
Yes, I do have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Please ask. What is your question?
Sorry, how did you place the date picker again? I think I missed that.
Okay, fine. So
And
how
also
we will
for the text boxes, is there any way we can limit the number of characters or specify whether we want digits or floats or the type of string we want input in the text boxes?
No, like there are like if you will go on to insert, you will see this text is there, right? Text input is there. So when we want like number of input, so then we will choose HTML text. Otherwise, we will choose text input, simple text input. And like in text input also we can like I'm not sure what are the number of characters which are supported, how many number of characters, but we can put like it is unlimited like in text input also. But when we have to put one paragraph, then we will select HTML text because it will look good. Okay, so how we have selected this date picker, I will select this just input. Everything comes in input.
Okay.
So text input, whatever we have to put input, it will comes inside input. Button is there, text input is there, pen input is there. Pen input is for signature. Drop down I have selected. Combo box is there. So combo box is a little bit complex. So I will take it into the next lecture. This is date picker. So how from on clicking on this, date picker will be selected. Check box is there. For example, if you want scholarship or not, you have to check this. Radio button is there. Toggle is there. Okay. Is everything clear now?
Yes, everything is clear now. Thank you.
So, does anyone have any question? Shadrach, shall I move on?
Yes.
Okay. So currently I have selected student name. Okay. Now I am selecting date of birth. I will choose date. For date of birth, I am choosing date. We'll just select save. Okay. Then gender is there. Gender is there. I will select save. Okay, what are others? So country. So I will put paste country inside title column because title column is like it should be compulsory when we put any data into the list. It can be removed, like this can be removed, but like I will take this into the next lecture that how it can be removed. Okay. So I will change this name to country. Let it be there. So like I will post the country in title column. Okay. Because it is compulsory to fill, because it is necessary that title should have some column or title should have some field over here. So now we want to save this. Now we have changed our database. As you can see that earlier it was only title. Now we have changed it with the student name, date of birth, gender, and inside title we will put our country. Currently we are using this title column to put our country because title field or title column should have some field or should have some item in it. Otherwise we will not be able to save this list. Okay, I will show you one error will come up. I will show you for this. So now we have changed the database. So we will have to refresh it, because if we will not refresh it, it will pull out the first database or the earlier database which we was using only with title column. So we will refresh it. Now I have refreshed it. It is refreshing. Let it refresh. So it is refreshed now. So now we have to put all these things which are coming up in our database. So now I am moving on to button. I will rename button. Again, use button. This is currently named as button. We will have to put it on text. We will see what is text. Where is text? Text. So this is named as button. So I will change this as save. Save to SharePoint list. There is no control. That is not changing it. Just taking some time to change. Yeah, so now we have got this save to SharePoint list. I have increased the length of this button so everything is visible to you all. Now again, I want to increase the size of this font. So we will increase the size of this font by selecting on this. This is 20. So now to save all these items to SharePoint, how we can save this? Save. And everything comes under on select function. On select means when we are selecting this button, what should happen at the backend. So I will type here on select. Yeah, you can see this. Currently on select, false was there. I have removed it. So now we have one function which is called as patch. That patch function is used to connect our Power Apps with SharePoint list or any other database. The name simply depicts itself that patch is used for patching the items from Power Apps to our database. In this case, it is SharePoint list. So patch, after that we will put our comma. So it will directly pull it out the list or pull it out what are the database which we have connected right now. So currently we are connected to SharePoint list, so it will pull out only this list. My first list, I will select this. It is taking time. So my first list is connected. It means that we have given the data source what we have. So after that, comma is there. Then we will pull one comma. So I will show what is the format of this. Patch is there. After that, we give the name of the data source. After that, we will give one comma. Data source, currently we have example SharePoint list is there. Example SharePoint list is there. After that, we will put one comma, and then we will put two curly brackets, and then we will just close this. And in this curly braces, we will give the name of the columns which are in SharePoint list. For example, here what are the columns? Student name is there, so we will give this name. Student name. You should give exactly the same name. Then one colon. Then I am moving on to this Power Apps again. So I'm coming back to the audience once again. So is there any confusion? Yeah, George. Hello. Hello.
Okay. My question was regarding the list on SharePoint.
Okay.
I come from a data background, and according to a list, maybe a database like a SQL database, there's usually a primary key where the column has to be populated, the row has to be populated. So is there a way you can limit the text fields so that at least one of them has to be populated before the submit button is hit.
Sorry, can you please repeat the question once again?
Okay, for example, in a database, there has to be a primary key where that column has to be populated, right? Yes, so in this case, in SharePoint list, or rather in the Power App, is there a way you can make that the text box have to be filled before the submit button is hit?
Okay, yeah, there is a way. Like I will tease that all in the next session, because if that text box is not filled, it should populate with an error that this text box is not filled. You are not allowed to submit your form, right? This is your main question. Yes, there is a way. There is a way we can populate this. We can do this. So there is one function called as isEmpty function, or isEmpty. Inside that, we will fill out the text. Like I will teach in the next, because all these things are, when the complexity will increase, everything will goes on. Okay. So there is nothing like because primary key, we can build a primary key. It depends on whether we want a primary key or not. For example, in SharePoint list, primary key is item ID itself. When we will create any item, it will generate one primary key. For example, okay, that is one. If we will click an item, it will generate on primary end. 2 is there. Or we can create like number of primary keys. For example, we can select email address as primary key, name as a primary key. We can select on our basis. So currently, just I will show that how we can save the items in our database. In the next lecture, like when there will be next lecture, we will provide some notification on the basis of that. If there is any empty column is there, then you should, like, notification should pop up. For example, if someone is putting date of birth of 1892, so they are not eligible, they are not a student, so they should not fill up the form. Okay. And for example, one leave application is there, and so from date is there and to date is there. Between those date, in between 2 days, you want leave. So if the leave is like in negative, for example, like you can select a previous date also. For example, today is 4/7. You can also select 3/7/2020 from date picker, because Power Apps doesn't know that what date you are picking up. So if you are selecting any previous date and you are asking leave on that date, so this should not happen. So we can pull out, or we can put notification on that also. So all these things comes up when we will increase the complexity of the Power Apps. So currently we are building our first Power App. So we are at our just basic stage. So how we can save our items from Power Apps to the SharePoint list. Basically today we will learn only that. In the next lecture, we will learn about the notification. We will learn about that if someone new comes into this like registration app, all these fields should be empty and they should be able to fill new form. So all these things we will learn when we will increase our complexity in Power Apps. Am I clear?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, someone has raised one question. Yeah, DG, what is your question? DG Flex.
Okay, I have a question. Are you able to, let's say, are you able to connect Power Apps to your own customized database, just like MongoDB, or maybe fetch data from another database, your own custom database?
No, only those Power Apps, only those databases which we can connect, which are given by Microsoft, that through this database we can connect our Power Apps. We cannot customize, though I think MongoDB is in the option. Like there are a number of databases, uncountable databases are there. Like most of the applications are built by using SharePoint list as a database, Excel as a database. We can use SQL as a database. We can use CDS as a database. Like number of database options are there. So like I will have to go for that list, like how many database are possible, what are the data sources through which we can connect. So if Microsoft has given option that we can connect with MongoDB, so we can connect with MongoDB.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Felix. Thanks. So should I move forward, or someone have any questions? Shadrach, shall I move forward?
Yes, there is no other question.
Fine. Okay, fine. So I was on this function, that how to write this function, Power Apps data source. So data source means currently we are using SharePoint list as a data source. We can use number of data sources. So whenever we will connect that data source, it will populate over in the data source column. So after that, we have to give curly braces, then bracket close. So here I am moving. So student name is there. So this is fine, right? I will show you. So whenever there is any error, it will comes up with red column, red identification. So currently I am removing this curly braces. So you can see this error is coming up. So when you will navigate on this, you can see this name is not valid. This identifier is not recognized because we haven't put any curly braces over here. So now I am connect. Now I have put down one curly braces. Okay. So currently the student name is blank. Currently we are putting a student name is blank, but we want what student name should be there. What is written over here, it should be saved in our database. So what is the name of this text input? So this is text input 1. We can rename this. Currently we are giving this name as name. Simple name is there. So now that now it has been changed to name. Again, I will go on to this button. Now I will remove this bracket and we will just put name. This is name dot whatever text is there, like name is the our input name, and after that like when we will put our dot, then it will pull out text, accessible level, align is there. So all these things we can pull it out, but currently we need text, so we will just put out text over here, name dot text. So so I think patch function is fine right now. I will check it out, and I will put one semicolon to enter the title one because title is necessary. See, now I will put title over here. Title, and inside title I will just put Mr. right now, so that we can save to our database. And this is error coming up. Why this error is coming up? Because after every field that is student name, we have to give one semicolon over here. Then this error will be gone. Okay. I don't know why it is happening. See, now it is fine, I think. Sorry, like there is network issue. So currently I'm choosing this as female. So I have just put name over there, and this name column will go to our SharePoint list inside title column. So I will select save to SharePoint list. I will again come back here. So if you will come back over here, if that SharePoint list or that data is not saved, you will get one error over here. Now I will again move on to this list. We will refresh this. And you can see this title is coming up inside, like title inside title column. Abdul Samad is coming up. What we have done over here, inside title column, we have given name.text. Name.text means whatever is written over here, it will load it in our database. So till now, anyone have any question? Hello. Hello.
Hello, there is no question.
Shadrik, everything is clear?
Yes.
Patch function is clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So like now I will ask some question from my end. So like I have put one semicolon over here, right? I will put one semicolon. And what should I write next? Like if I want to save this country, or if I want to save this date of birth, what should I write? I should pick up this date of birth column, right? I have put this date of birth column, again semicolon. And inside this date of birth column, what is this name? This is drop down one. So I will choose this as BOB. Which is BOB. Okay. You can see this. I have selected this date of B, and I have given both the name date of birth DOB, but I want what is the name of this. We'll change this and name this as birth to remove any confusion. I will change this name as country. So you can see this error is coming up. Now why this error is coming up? The type of this argument date of birth does not match the expected type date found type error. It means that in the SharePoint list, we have selected this date of birth as date type, but currently we are not giving this as a date type in our Power Apps. That's why this function is causing an error. Now we have to remove this. How we can remove this is date of birth. I have selected date. So I have given this name date of birth. Okay. Now again I will come over here. This is gone, but we need date of birth dot selected date. So date of birth dot selected date is coming over here. I will select this, and again this error is gone. Now again I will go to play this. So I will, as I am saving now date of birth to our database, so I will select any date, like I am selecting 15th of July 2020. 15th of July 2020. I think it. So why this today is sending? Like you will have currently this is today. So currently I'm saving this date with today only. Today is a function. So right now 7 April 2020. This is today's date. So I will save this to our list. And again I will put this cross. And I will check whether there is any error or not. No, there is no error. And again I will check whether date has been here or not. So you can see this. Another item has been created with date of birth. Till now, is there any confusion? Yes, George. Yeah, George.
Just go back to your patch function, please.
Okay, I'm at my patch function.
Okay, so for example, the date of birth, there is DOB, then there's a column, then date of birth. Now,
yes.
Which one is the column on SharePoint, and which one is the item on our?
Okay, so like the first column, the first that is the before column, it is in the SharePoint list. Like from where? Like from this, we are going to this. Okay, we are saving. Like title is the column name which is in SharePoint list, and name. This is our input name which we have given this, right? Can you see this name? This is our input name. So name.text is our input name. Now now when we will move to this input, you can see this name is date of birth. So currently it is function as today. I will tell you right now, I will tell you why it is not picking up the current date, why it is not giving us to select the date. I will change it because you should know, like whenever any error is there or confusion is there, then you learn more incompletably. I will tell you. So now I will explain why what is this patch function. So patch is there, my first list. This is the name of the data source which we are using. Then two curly braces are there. Then after two curly braces, whatever the columns which we are using in our SharePoint list or in our database, it should be at the first place, then colon, then name of input dot related functionality which we want from the text input. Like in text input, there is some other options also which we can use. Can you see here? We have selected on text input, color is there, default is there. So do you want a default text input or whatever you have put it over input, what do you want? So on the basis of this input text give us some functionality to use. I will show you. Just see that. I will again put dot over here, and now you can see this, all these related identities. Like you can put it text, you can put accesses label, align, all these things you can save it to a database. But currently what we need is the text which is present inside this input. So we are selecting text. Okay.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
So right now I have opened the function. You can see this for 2 or 3 minutes. Everyone can realize it, and if anyone have any question, they can raise it out. Okay. So should I move forward? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah,
Yes.
should I move forward?
Yes, continue.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Now I have to save this country in our database, right? So now I am moving to save our country to our database. Before that, mail is there. I have already saved this name. I have already saved this date of birth. Now I will save this gender and country. So what we will do? Again, we will put one comma. And what is the name of gender? Gender is there, so we will put gender over here. Gender. And after that, now we want to change this gender. Drop down name. Gender. Change or not? Yeah, it is changed. So gender. And again, we will put dot, and we will see what we can pull it out. Gender dot selected text is there. Gender dot selected is there. Gender dot accessible label is there. Border color is there. So firstly, I am selecting this gender dot selected. Okay. When we selected gender dot selected, error is coming. So it means that we cannot select this gender dot selected text is there. Why this error is coming? Because this is the text field. We have chosen this text field, and right now there is this is we are getting text. So we will currently, to make it easy, I will change this to text. Okay. I will rename this to gender. Now we will again put this is text, so we can see that what are the options which are coming up. This is. So now you can see that our function is correct, right? So we will put one gender, that is male, and again save to our SharePoint list. We will again refresh it. Now we can see that the gender is coming up, date of birth is coming up, and even the title is coming up. So coming back to our audience again, is there any question? Hello. Yeah, is there any question?
There is no question.
Okay, so right now we have learned whatever the fields are there in Power Apps, it should match up with which are in the SharePoint list. If they are not matching, we will not be able to save it. For example, date of birth is there, and for that we have selected date as a database in SharePoint list. So for that we need input type also the same in database. Is this clear? Hello.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, fine. So now we have to, I will again change this from Kenya, like this is drop down, to our text column. So I will move this out. I will just Copy and paste it over here. Okay. And we will again try to save this. We will copy this, one comma. What is this name? This should be country. So you have just seen this. I wanted to change this name to country from gender 1 to country, but it is giving us error. The name is already being used. Please try a different name. Why it is giving this error? Because have you seen this? I have already renamed this drop down as country. So I will remove this currently. I will rename this as country because we need country. And again, I will come to this. Country is there. And then country dot text is there. The specified column. Oh, sorry, I haven't mentioned country. So country. Have you seen this error is coming up? The specified column country does not exist. So I am coming back to audience to ask the question that why this error is coming up. Can anyone tell this? Hello. Yeah, George. Hello.
Sorry, I don't think I can tell.
Okay, so like I will move to SharePoint list, right? So in this SharePoint list, did you see any column name with country? There is no column name with country, right?
Yes, there is no column name country.
So if there is no column name with country, we cannot save it in our database, right? There should be one column name with country, and that's otherwise we will not be able to save. So in like earlier I have told you that I will save this country to this title because this is compulsory or this is a required field in SharePoint list. We can rename this or we can change this, but like this comes as the complexity increases. So I will take on to this in the next lectures. So currently I will save this country under this student name, or I can rename this, but all these things are part of the SharePoint. So I will currently save this country in our student name field, right? So in place of a student name, you will see country coming up.
Okay.
Student name. Here we got student name and country is coming up. Now we can save this. Everything should be there. Country, India. Save to SharePoint list. Now again we will cross this and check whether any error is not, just for testing it. And we will again move on to our SharePoint list and now you can see this title. In place of title, we have given name.text. That is why name is coming up. In DOB, we have given date of birth. That's why date of birth is coming up. In gender, we have given gender. That's why gender is coming up. And student name, we have given country. That's why country is coming up. So in the next lecture, what we will do is we will take up all the columns which are in the SharePoint list. Like look, mainly what are the columns? Single line of text, date, choice, and one column is the lookup column is there. So I will take all these lookup column and even the number column and build one app and try to save that app, and even will try to save that app with notification which George was talking about. So I think that's it for today. So if anyone have any questions or they want to ask, like they want if they have any questions or how I should improve in the next lectures or in the next meeting, so they can tell me that.
Yeah, I have one question.
Yes, George.
Next to country, there's a fill text and then there's a drop down.
Let me, yes. Yeah. I'm into Power Apps. Next to country, there is a text field and there is one drop down. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it supposed to be like that?
No. I can just remove this. So I have put this drop down earlier to understand you the concept of this. What is drop down? So to save this database, to save it to our database, we need some more functionality or we need some change in the function. So if I will teach it today, it will become complex, like complexity will increase. So it will become tough to understand all these concepts. So I am not taking up right now. I will take all these things like in the next lecture, maybe tomorrow, like you can put one lecture tomorrow also, so that our registration app is over with notification, with all the options which are in coming here, like single line of text, this is main, date, this is main, choice, this is main, and one lookup column is there. So everyone must not be aware of lookup column. The one who is from database background, they must be aware of what lookup column is. So I will teach you this, because to understand the concept of Power Apps and SharePoint is we should have understanding of SharePoint also, a SharePoint list also a little bit. So I will take all these columns, nearly all these columns, and we will take the inputs from here. So if anyone have any question or need any kind of improvement from my side, they can tell.
Yes, I have a question. So
yes.
Having the drop down menu, let's say for countries, can I have something like generating for like myself? Let's say if it's in Africa, we have about 54 countries. So should I be the one adding each country one by one, or can I
no. So what for that what we can do is we have created one SharePoint list, right? So for that we can create one list over here. Means there should be some place from where this country should come up. There should be some database from this country should pull up. So for that we can give filter over here. So I will teach it later on. If you want to know that, I can I can share the lectures, or I can share the link, or I can teach you even better way in the next lecture. For that, this is the basic one. This item should not come up like here. We cannot give if 50 to 60, the questions are very good. If 100 countries are there, we cannot give every countries over here. For example, some Europeans are there, okay? So for that, only Europe related countries should display. So we will filter it out according to the condition, or we can filter it out whatever is present in the database, because there should be some place from where these countries are coming up, right? There should be some database, or it should be present in some Excel. So we can pull it from there also in this. Power Apps is capable of many things. So this is the basic version. This is the basic version of dropdown. We can in the items, we can put even formula also. So am I clear now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, fine. So
and
it means that
I have another question.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, there was somewhere I was reading about using collections to enable the offline mode on Power Apps. Is it possible?
Yes, sure, it is possible. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is very good question. I think that Power Apps is in demand just because of its offline capabilities. I have built number of applications, and all these applications are running in offline mode because they are using construction background, or in airlines. For example, in airlines, network connectivity is not there. So for that, if network connectivity is not there, so for that, if there is some like urgent task we want to register, so we can save it in our Power Apps local database that is known as collection. Okay, so we can, you can see here, collection is there. Now it is empty. Now I will show one example. As just now you have told this, so I will show one example. I will put another button over here. Okay. Now I will rename this as save to collection. Save to collection, right? So for save to collection, again button is coming up. So all its functionality should be where in on select. Here is on select, here is on select. So on select, collect is there. So we will just put one option, collect. There is two options like clear collect. For example, there are some data which you require to be clear when you are landing into Power Apps. So we will use clear collect for this. This is mainly used to remove duplicacy. For example, there are there is one name Abdus and George, which is already in the collection. But when the next time you are logging into your Power Apps, these names should not pop up. So you should clear collect it, and again you will save into collection, because every time you will put this button or you will select this button, every time one new collection will be created, or the items will be created. Collection will be same, but one new set of items will be created. So collection is there, same, like the syntax is same. And for this, we can give any name. We don't need to create any collection earlier. Like for data source, we will have to create data. Firstly, we will have to create data source. Later on, we can perform operation. But for collection, we can perform operation at that time only. So I will give one name, that is inside name. I will just pull out this name, that is name.text. Name. Name dot, or just remove this. Okay. So let us see what happens. We will. This is collection one. Collection is, what is collection? Collection is basically the local database of Power Apps. Like SharePoint list is the database of SharePoint. So collection is the database of Power Apps. Now I will save to collection. I will play this. Save to collection. Okay. Now again I will go on to view in collection. Earlier there was no collection. Now you can see one collection is there, that is with name Samad. Now again, when I will click this collection, again that one more Samad will be created. You can see that one more Samad. So this is duplicate data. We don't need duplicate data, right? So for that, we will use clear collect function. Or for that, we will use clear collect function. It means like before saving this data to collection, it will remove all the data which are in collection and remove and will add the present data. Let us save to collection. So earlier two Samad was there, that will be clear and new collection will be created with Samad, right? So who have asked the question like, is it clear what is collection?
Yes, it's clear now.
Okay. So this is the functionality which we use in offline mode majorly. So what we do, when there is no network connectivity, we save it in our local database of Power Apps, and later on, when the connection is on, we will sync it to our SharePoint list or whatever our database is through which we require connectivity. Like when there is no network connectivity, we cannot save our data. We cannot save our data from Power Apps directly to SharePoint list or directly to Excel or directly to any kind of database, that is CDS is there or SQL Server is there. So for that, firstly, we need to save that data to our local storage that is known as collection. Okay. So is there any more questions, Shadrach? And like number of members are there. So if anyone have any question, don't hesitate, please ask. Hello.
Any other question from the audience? Yeah.
So this was just a basic app, basic application which we built. Number of functionalities are still missing in it. So for that, I need some more lectures from my end. So if you all find me good to deliver this lecture, I can take more lectures or I can take more meetings.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Samad, for the session. It has been an insightful session, and we've been able to learn about creating our first application with Power Apps, and also learned about the offline mode. And we look forward to like more of these sessions with you. And it's been a pleasure having you. We are really grateful.
So I'm asking one question from the audience side. Is there any kind of improvement is required? Because for the first time I have taken this kind of lecture. So if any improvement is required from my end, you can all raise your hand and tell me. So I will try to improve from the next time. Yeah, Shatra, you have?
No.
Okay. So George, is there any improvement required?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Okay, fine. So like lectures are required or more session are required like on my end. You can come with that to me and I will plan one or two more sessions, because Power Apps is a big thing now. Because when it was launched, it was not that much big thing. And now it's a big thing, like number of capabilities are there through which we can build a very good application. Like you can see chatbots option is there, AI builder is there. All these things are making Power Apps a very powerful tool. Right now we are just at a basic level, a very basic level. I did not move to the very complex level. So I will move to the complex level a little bit more in the next lecture. So what we have to do this after creating Power Apps, I will show you. Like our first Power Apps has been created. Now we will save this. We will save this. And this Power App will be saved. And later on we can share and publish it. So don't forget to save the Power Apps after creating it. Otherwise it will it will be of no need. Okay. Okay, thanks everyone. It was nice meeting you all. Thanks George, thanks Shadrach. And other audience, you can also raise one question. I am still here. If anyone have any question, don't hesitate.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks George, thanks Shadrach, thanks everyone. Have a great day ahead. Bye, take care.
It's been a pleasure.